Hi all. Today I've got Dilly's with me again. So she wants to tell all about and her big sister with us today. Here she is. It's little Pippi. And we've had quite a bad month with Pippi really because she's been very poorly. But thankfully it's finally been diagnosed that she's got Cushing's disease. And she's been on meds, which have just finished, and she's on a specialist diet now. So it's a disease that can be managed, and I expect some of you know all about it. I'm only just finding out, so I can't tell you any more really. So today we're going to have a look at the transformation schema. So the transformation schema is quite an exciting one because usually it's about transforming nothing into something. So you have ingredients. So for instance, like with a cake, you'd have the ingredients and then it would become a cake because of chemical reactions in the oven and so on. And so it's a lovely result at the end that you might want to share with family and friends. In some cases, and I've certainly seen this from children in the past, they want to keep it all to themselves. But I think if it's a big enough cake, then it's possible that it should really be shared. But anyway, that's certainly up to you as parents and teachers. So, transformation schema then. What other things can children transform? Almost definitely at the beach. And that's a good learning curve, the transformation schema at the beach, because they go off collecting buckets of water and they begin to make, if they've got buckets, hopefully, so don't forget to take your buckets with you, buckets and spades. And then they make a nice castle and it looks fabulous. The learning curve is the sea takes it back if you wait long enough to watch that happen. So it's quite good in that it's teaching you or teaching children a lesson that not everything is permanent. But and certainly with a cake, it's not going to be permanent if you all have a piece, is it? So it's quite a nice one, but there are some things when you think of it's a good way of building a neural pathway for transforming things. So it could be that somebody who likes cooking as a child and creating things may, as an adult, become a world-class chef. So let's think in England, Jamie Oliver. Let's think in Wales, where I'm from, Bryn Williams. And I'm sure you can think of other well-known chefs from your country or your particular neck of the woods, as they say. So that's one thing. Other things, like I've said, perhaps I haven't said, blank paper, and you end up with a piece of art. Now, that can be kept and can perhaps be put up on the wall and so on to encourage somebody who enjoys that kind of transforming artwork. Sculpture is a good one. So a sculptor is somebody who makes sculptures, and that's a fascinating one because actually they can remain. So that's quite nice. Transformation. I suppose we could even go back to what we talked about yesterday, which was Lego and connection schema. And as long as you can transform blocks into a set piece of Lego. And let's think then of adults. I've said already that you can have famous chefs. You can have somebody who transforms lives, such as a surgeon or a specialist doctor. So there are lots of careers that are transformational careers, and some children will have enjoyed learning about the transformation schema so much that they may well continue it throughout life. Some schemas, and I wouldn't say necessarily the transformation schema, although you can um, spoil it for people if you knock down their castles before they finish the project that they wanted to complete, because most children get to realize that the sea eventually takes that castle away, but they may want to see it finished before that happens. So they may want to complete the transformation schema as they see it. So, it's about keeping a check on that, because sometimes um, there can be oh gosh, arguments between siblings, and people knocking down other people's castles and so on. But again, we might say that that is a particular learning curve that children need to learn as they're growing. So there are, of course, some schemas can become maladaptive, and when you become an adult, then you may need to learn some different schemas to overcome the maladaptive ones that you've still got in your brain. And you may need to change that schema that's become a habit and something that you really could do without in your life. But that's maladaptive schemas are another subject. We're talking about play schemas. And today we've learned about a transformation schema. And we are going to say bye bye. Oh, my darlings, my darlings.